Welcome back. Now I want to talk to you about desktop computers, but not bog-standard, ugly, wire-encumbered brutes like this. No, I'm talking about these much sexier beasts, all-in-one computers where the monitor, the base station and a few other things are combined in one more elegantly designed unit. Unlike normal PCs, they actually give the impression that somebody's taken some time and trouble to make them look good. But what's the best one you can get for under £1,000?
Well, I've enlisted the help of top interior designer Linda Barker to help me decide.
Now, as a leading design guru, how well do you think computers fit into the home?
I think aesthetics in computers these days have to be really spot on.
I've got 3 models over here I'd like you to judge on their aesthetic merits.
Great.
First up is this Sony Vaio with its 20-inch screen, 3 gig of RAM, huge 500 gig hard drive and silver finish.
I like the colour very much. It's a wee bit on the plasticky side.
Second, we have this HP TouchSmart with its 22-inch touchscreen, 4 gig of RAM, 500 gig hard drive and glossy black plastic look.
I'm rather liking the little acrylic feet because you get this sense that it's floating, and the best thing, of course, is there's no cables.
And third is the 20-inch iMac, the latest model in Apple's pioneering range. It's got just 2 gig of RAM and a 320 gig hard drive inside its anodized aluminium casing.
I love the aluminium finish. It's a great shape, a fantastic keyboard. This looks so slim. Overall, this is a fabulous looking home computer.
So the Apple looks best, but test 2 is all about usability. Together, Linda and I took some photos to compare just how easy it is to import, view and edit them on each.
So we've got our shots, now we need to get it onto the Sony.
There's no need for wires as there's an SD card slot, and among the array of bundled software, Adobe Elements is best for the job. Once imported, the photos pop up on a grid where you can edit or autocorrect your images. Linda was having fun playing about and liked the clarity of the screen.
I think it's very clear, so I'm pretty impressed.
Like the Sony, the HP has an SD card slot. However, we had to import the photos using Windows before we could view them in HP's TouchSmart interface.
If you put your finger on that little house there, a whole new different interface opens up.
So I could just touch the screen and scroll through. Oh, that's lovely, actually.
Using your fingers, you can perform very basic cropping and fixing edits. But Linda did have one gripe.
I think the slight downside is the very highly reflective touchscreen, only because you've got to be careful where you put it.
The Apple was next, and the lack of an SD card slot was shock news for Linda.
What?
No, there's no card slot, so you have to connect the camera by wire.
You're kidding!
But USB ports on the keyboard save fiddling round the back. Apple's new iLife 09 package includes iPhoto for viewing and editing images.
Right, they're all there. Let's have a look at the quality.
And one new feature that Linda really liked is called Faces. You can tag a person's face and iPhoto will work out all the other images in which they appear.
You can have loads of fun with this.
Yeah, it is. It's good fun, isn't it? Great.
And it was clear just how good the high-resolution LCD screen was.
On screen, the images are beautiful, amazing clarity. So I think, you know, all in all, it has to be my favourite.
For our final test, we wanted to see if the all-in-one's computing power is compromised by their slim design. We decided to push their graphics cards and similarly spec'd processors to the max by opening a series of increasingly memory-intensive applications to see which would cope best.
OK, Linda, and go!
Starting with a photo loaded, we played the Gadget Show theme tune, then began to roll a movie file and booted up Second Life before beginning to download some software from the internet.
Yeah, that's still good.
Behaving.
All 3 appeared to be doing an admirable job, but we had one more challenge. With all the applications still running, we timed how quickly the computers could transfer a large 2 GB file from a USB memory stick onto their hard drives.
Starting now.
And the Apple iMac with its sprightly OS X operating system was the clear winner, despite having the smallest memory.
And stop.
It completed the task in just 1 minute 3 seconds, beating the HP and Sony by 15 and 55 seconds respectively.
So, Linda, which one's your favourite?
There is a clear favourite for me, John, and it is the Apple. The screen is fabulous. I love the interface, very easy to navigate. It performed best in our time trials as well. I would definitely give it a house room. It is absolutely beautiful. I love it.
So I'm gathering from that Linda really liked the Apple iMac.
She did, and I liked it too. It came out very well in the tests.
OK, and your G rating, starting with the Sony?
Well, the Sony, 3 Gs for the Sony. It's a bit noisy, and also it was slower than the other two.
And what about the HP?
3 Gs also for the HP. I think it'd be a great choice for a Windows all-in-one desktop. It's let down a bit by the reflectiveness of the screen.
And finally, of course, the Apple iMac.
4 Gs for this, not 5, because I think there's still a lot of room for improvement. I mean, all this money, and it still comes with wired keyboard and mouse. That's poor. Also, why no card slots? I mean, a common form of carrying data about these days. It's not going to ruin the look of it, is it, by putting some in the side? They're too stubborn to put them in.
So with 4 Gs, the Apple iMac is the Gadget Show's favourite all-in-one desktop computer.